Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to the episode of my F1 2019 Manager Career Mode here with Red Bull. It's Season 3, the beginning of this season was uploaded yesterday, so be sure to go check that one out before you see this one, because there's no longer Red Bull Honda, we are now Red Bull Porsche. I thought after 2 seasons we've had with Honda, we won the championship last season with Verstappen and got the Constructors title with Red Bull. I thought we'd change it up now, 3rd season in, go for a different engine supplier. We've got Porsche now in the back of this car powering it, we've got a new lead design, which he came from Porsche, the LMP1 program. He now works for us in F1. So it kind of makes sense there. You know, Adrian Newey retiring, essentially, I think, basically in the game database. And we're also going up against the Porsche Works team, because they're also a team in this F1 fantasy kind of career save. So, you know, it's going to be a very interesting, different dynamic, I guess. And also, driver-wise, if you missed it, we've signed Pascal Wehrlein, who, at the moment, for some reason, is actually our best driver. I don't know what happened to Verstappen. He was 4.5 stars for the entirety of last season. We ended last season with him 4.5 stars, and then now Pascal's nearly got up into 5. I don't know, the morale, I guess, of signing for a new team has boosted his stats, and Verstappen, I don't know, maybe he's gone lower after seeing someone as good as Pascal Wehrlein coming into the team. I'm not too sure. And we still got Gasly as a pretty damn solid reserve driver as 4-star. Kind of harsh on him because he has done a good job. He did get a few wins last season, but ultimately I thought we need a new challenge, and I want a new dynamic in the team of having Wehrlein and Verstappen. Even though Wehrlein signed a number 2 contract, I will probably be giving them equal cars, because you can see Wehrlein clearly is just as good, if not at the moment better, than Verstappen. So we're going to give them equal cars, because also Verstappen, the contract we signed with him is equal, so he's not going to make a fuss about it. So we're going to see a dynamic of maybe our own drivers fighting with each other, along with other drivers, of course, because obviously you would say Mercedes are going to be back and strong as ever, and maybe along with some other teams we'll have to see. It looks like Ferrari have fallen off quite a fair bit, because Vettel and Leclerc have both left Ferrari. Obviously, if you saw last episode, you would have known that. So just definitely go check that episode out to check out all the ins and outs and the admin for this season. And straight away, we're just going to get into the action pretty much, because at the moment, we are improving all the parts we can in terms of reliability and the performance. And we're just moving forward then towards the very first race weekend of the season, Sydney. Of course, if you did watch last season, you'll know the usual rules of this season now is no qualifying, random grids. And then in the race, it's going to be quite interesting to see now, because we've got refueling, and also we've got a more advanced ERS system. So we're going to see how that goes there. I think it's going to be a very messy first Grand Prix, I can tell you that. With the refueling, I'm just not going to know what on earth I'm doing, to be honest. You know, I know what to do when it's a full tank. When it's a smaller tank, I don't know how this is going to go. So this could go quite badly, to be honest, for us. And this is why I'm excited, because there's so many changes this season that even though technically we've got the best car on the grid on paper, there's going to be so many different variables that I can mess up as a player. So let's just think about this. So high tyre wear. We're making a lot of pit stops. We may as well take in a lot of soft tyres, you know, logically, because if you're making fuel stops, you may as well change the tyres at the same time, because the refueling is going to take just as long as a tyre change. So I'll take in 753 there. Pit parts-wise, let's have a look here. So let's give them kind of equal spread. So I'll give Verstappen the better brakes. The engine I will give... Technically, obviously, it's still... Let me just recheck. Yeah. Well, Verstappen's back to 4.5. Pascal's 4 2/3. So, because Pascal's got that extra star rating, I will go ahead and give Wehrlein the better engine here. In terms of the front wing, I'll give Verstappen the better one. Gearbox, I'll give Wehrlein the better one. Rear wing, I'll give to Wehrlein, and then suspension, I will keep with Verstappen. So we've got Verstappen, Wehrlein, Verstappen, Wehrlein, Verstappen, Wehrlein, Verstappen. So I think we've got a pretty good spread, pretty equal there, and they're both delighted, so they can't really, there's no complaints from their side. And you can see there on the chart, yeah, you can see Wehrlein's got the better engine here, but then Verstappen's got the better medium speed corner, low speed corner, and deceleration. They're pretty equal on acceleration, and Wehrlein's got a slight edge on a high speed corners. So they're pretty well matched, I think, I would say. So let's go into practice then. It's going to be a very odd practice as well. I don't know how useful certain info is going to be now in practice, but I don't think there's going to be any rain. Doesn't look like it, so it's going to be a pretty simple, straightforward practice session. I think Wehrlein has pretty good feedback as well, I would think, being 4 and a bit stars, so I would say maybe it might be even easier to get knowledge compared to last season with Gasly, because Gasly was, I think, feedback of 11, and Verstappen was feedback of 12 or 13, so Verstappen's like a feedback of 12, if Wehrlein, sorry, is a feedback of 12 or 13, it could be a pretty straightforward, quite quick session in terms of getting knowledge for us in these practice sessions. Let's have a look here. for the very first time. Verline's got 14, yeah. You can see there, very, very solid then. So 14 and 14 is going to be a very good, easy day in the office then in terms of practice. Hopefully the setup isn't too fiddly. I've got one saved somewhere around here. Right, taking practice, sending them out, and we'll see how easy Verline could get a setup done compared to Verstappen. Verstappen's, well, he used to be a really easy one to do, and then he got a little bit more fiddly last season. But I really, obviously you guys would have seen the Porsche designed Red Bull kind of livery I made for last episode for this season. And obviously I said, there was a little bit of, a bodge jobbing on the side pods because of the red on red for the Red Bull sponsoring. But on track now, for obviously the majority of the time, we're going to see the car looking like this. And like this, on track, that actually looks really peng. I really like that. I really like that. That looks like, when you look at it, it looks like a Porsche powered Red Bull. Like, it's got that Porsche vibe, I feel. A few of you said it looked like a zoomed out kind of old Haas car in a way when you do zoom out. I guess I could see that. But when you zoom in like that, I think that looks really solid. Really nice. Really, really nice. So I'm happy with that, of how our car looks. So let's quickly check now, bring them in. Did I mistime that for Verstappen? Yes, I did. Verstappen's continued on. Oh no, Verstappen's not continuing on. Verline's continued on. Verstappen's in. He's on 3 great. So pretty good start off, actually. Let's have a look then of what we can do. Do we go any higher on the downforce? Looks like we could go a little bit higher on the downforce, but Verline went lower on the downforce. So should I try that out for size? Let's see how lower downforce goes, because Verline definitely likes a little bit lower downforce. Balance-wise, I'm not too sure where to go, to be honest. I'm just going to keep it at that. I'll go for 8 laps. I mean, we've got a 94% set up straight away, so that's pretty decent. So we'll just go for 8 laps, get the knowledge first. Verline, though, I will bring him in, because I need to check him and see if he's in an okay region. He's got 2 greats and a good, so okay, not as good as Verstappen there. 94 though, same percentage actually, so that's interesting. Handling wise though, where do you want to go, mate? Let's go towards oversteer. Let's go softer springs. I have a hunch maybe that's the way we want to go. Speed balance, let's go a bit towards top end speed, and we'll keep the downforce where it is for now. I'll go with 8 laps, and I'll get the knowledge as well, and then we'll check up afterwards here. But at the moment, well, it'll be interesting to see what the practice times are like. Obviously, with a random grid, we don't know what the 1-lap pace is, so it's going to be a bit random to see. But obviously, we've got these new Ferrari drivers, Rossi and Da Costa. That's going to be very weird to see in the red cars, Da Costa and Rossi, like both F1 drivers in real life, doing different series now on their own accord, and now they're here in Ferrari. And then you got Vettel in the Renault, which is quite nice, actually. You know what? We had Vettel in the Renault ourselves, so it's actually quite funny that the game naturally got Vettel in a Renault when we had Vettel in a Renault when we did the Renault 2019 career. That's actually quite... I only just realised that. That's actually worked out really weirdly. And then you got Leclerc in a Williams car. To be fair, Williams did quite well last season. Like, I remember George Russell and Kubica used to be like up in the top 10 quite a few times. So fair play, but it's a bit of a weird backward step for Leclerc's career. But hey ho, we'll see how it goes for him, I guess. But we're going to just move on then and see what the pace is like. We're 5 tenths off at the moment on the top there, but obviously they're using super soft tyres. So I would like to think we're still on the mix right there, being the fastest car on track. But of course, it also plays in with the drivers and the how comfy they are on the setup and whatnot. But at the moment, just moving through towards level 3 on the soft and race trim. That's going pretty nicely up actually. So both feedback levels of 14 doing well. So I'm going to bring them both in, and there we go. Good timing for Verstappen to come in. So it looks like the lower downforce was not the way to go actually. He wanted higher downforce, but we did get the gear ratio spot on. So I'm going to keep this there. And then I'm just going to basically go back to what we had on the high downforce and go a little bit the other way, basically. So I'll move the front wing up a little bit more. So that was great. So that might be the excellent for there. Speed balancers bring this back to where we were, because that was excellent. And then great on the handling front. So not much is really going to change there. So let's just try and get this back to where we... There we go. So that's pretty much... Let's see, I don't know, that handling's a bit more towards understeer now. Let's see how that works out for him. But I'm now going to go ahead and get knowledge on super softs, may as well, really. Verline will come in. He's up into 3rd place, Verline. So Verline actually 6 tenths faster than Verstappen there. So maybe that's the engine playing a big part, obviously, because I didn't see the difference between the engine. It might have been quite a lot of power difference there. Right, Verline's gone still 2 greats and 1 good, so still the same exact thing, and he's gone down percentage-wise. So that's a little bit annoying, but now we know maybe higher downforce is the way to go. So let's go right to the edge there with him. Speed bounce towards top-end speeds. And then handling, well, you are good. So let's say somewhere in the middle there is going to be the way to go. So let's try that out. 4 laps as well on the super softs. Alright, got level 2 on the super soft tyres now, with about 3 minutes to go, and we're 1 and 2 in the session now, so the car pace has come through a little bit now on the super softs there. Mercedes 3/10 off with our. They're on mediums at the moment. I'm going to see now what Verstappen's setup is like, because we didn't actually get a chance to recheck it. Verline's now gone better. So like I said, this dynamic of Verline v Verstappen is going to be very interesting, I think, this season. Especially with the random grid, refueling, all this stuff. It's just going to be absolute chaos, isn't it? But we got 2 excellence, and we're going to have to go back a little bit to there, which is going to be great, I think. So if I can somehow just make sure I don't have the speed balance too out of whack there. I think that should be pretty much 2 excellence and a great. So I'll go for another stint here. Verline's going to come in, and so I'll have just enough time maybe to check his setup here, and we'll see how he can be. Hopefully we can get both their setups quite high, just to give them a good chance. We've got a great, excellent, and good there. So what's the highest percentage we've got so far? 94. That's not really that great, is it? So if I go back to this, but then the handling, we know that's an excellent at least. Keep the downforce at great, even though that's really not changed much there. And that was great as well, wasn't it? So that's great. That's great. Okay, so actually the only way I can go is lower then to see if it goes if there's any difference. So let's see how that works out. Handling here. Let's just try and bring this back up. Please, one little. No, wrong way. There. That's excellent. And then speed balance was good. That's great. That's great. So wait, well, hang on. That's okay. Yeah. Okay, that confused me for a little bit. Right. So back to where we were, basically. So that should, in theory, maybe be a great, excellent, and a good, and a great, maybe, hopefully. I don't know. Let's see. Quickly send him out. He's not going to have enough time to come back in, though, unfortunately. So I won't know what this setup is like, to be honest, because he goes out and he's back in. So I don't know. I can't check that setup. I'm going to have to take a stab into the dark and hope that setup is going to work out for him. So, random grid-wise, Verline's been given P8, Verstappen is in P14, so an okay spread, I guess. Let's have a look here, then. We've got Ricciardo in the Works Porsche team in P1, so that'll be important, obviously. Our Red Bull Porsche car versus the Works team. He's on pole. Magnussen P2. De Costa in the Ferrari. P3. We've got the Emily in Degan, I think, in Audi in P4. Rossi. Where is Hamilton, though? There we are in P8. That's our and one Mercedes car in P9. Where is Hamilton then? Vettel in the Renault P12. Verstappen's there, so we're ahead of Hamilton, P17. Obviously, I'm singling out Hamilton, but obviously I just don't know who we're actually going to be racing this season yet. It could be anyone, really. Could be could be, one of the Ferrari cars. You just never know, especially with all this refueling stuff. So to that end, let's have this strategy then. 49 laps to go. Tyre-wise, it would be a very easy one-stop on 2 sets of soft tyres, or 1 set of supers and 1 set of soft tyres. We've got knowledge for a lot. The fuel, though, only goes for 20 laps. So you have to refuel 3 times. You have to refuel twice. We have to make a 2-stop because you're going to have to refuel 3 times over. Because there's no way, surely, you could drag that longer than 20 laps in reality. So if you split up 49 laps by 3 different stints, technically you would want to go for something like, I don't know, like 18 laps, because obviously it doesn't work out nicely. So like if I did 49 divided by 3 stints, it'd be like 16 laps each. So should we actually take out some fuel on purpose then and run a lighter car? Maybe let's say, actually, you know what? No, we'll run 20 laps in the first stint, because that means we can afford to push more on the fuel. Because then we only need to go 16-ish kind of laps, or 17 laps. We'll pit at lap 17 or 18. Probably 17 this first stint, or 16. And then we'll go for another 17 laps, and then another 17 to the end. So we can push the fuel a little bit, hopefully. Well, that's the theory. And to that end, may as well just go all sets of super softs then. Unless, I mean, I don't know if you can save time by not pitting for a tyre. Maybe you can, but we've got level 2, so let's go for it. Race trim, level 2, level 3. The setup, obviously we couldn't check this out. So that's the same setup we've got. Damn it, didn't even save the setup there. So I'm going to have to bodge this back up then to what we had. So that's a good. That's a great. Let's bring that down a little bit there. And then that was great. So let's bring this speed balance back down to where we were. That might be excellent. And then this is still going to be great. So that's a bit of a bodge job. I won't know if this setup is actually good until the end of the race, but going to go for it. Yeah, we'll go for the soft starts of both, super soft starts of both drivers. We'll push on the fuel, pit on lap 17 maximum, no matter what happens, lap 17 maximum, and then we'll see how it goes. This season's become very, very tactical. We're doing a lot of team tactics before the racing begins. Alright, here we go then to 5 red lights to the Australian Grand Prix, this season opener of this brand new season with Red Bull, Porsche and Wehrlein and Verstappen. Nearly said Honda. Here we go. It's a good start for Wehrlein there, up into P7. Not so much for Verstappen. He's down in P15. But let's see as we fast forward through here. Wehrlein drops down to P9. Verstappen P16. On the ERS, our ERS is still like last time, which is interesting. I thought, didn't we vote for hybrid mode? Okay, whatever. We're down the inside of the hairpin there, up into P15 again after Verstappen lost a place. At the moment, it's the new Audi driver, Emily Degan, in P1. Although now Da Costa comes and goes and overtakes Ferrari v Audi. Interesting right now. Hamilton's still below us in P16. Verstappen's up into P14 now, nearly just about. Wehrlein gets past into P8. Past one of the McLarens of Lando Norris here as we go through now. Let's go to Auto ERS and let the Auto CPU use that because it worked quite well. Up into P6 now. Still burning fuel. So yeah, see now there's no more plus target of fuel. There's just number of laps of fuel. So we just have to make sure we don't go lower than the lap we've got. That lap counter minus that lap. So right now we're 15 laps left of fuel. We're looking good. And now we're up into P3 because Wehrlein just sailed past Ricciardo, Auer, and Rossi. So now he's in clean air. That's very nice. He's going to go on pushing on the tyres now, just to not wear on that too much. Verstappen set the fast lap of the Grand Prix now. He's up into P4. What the? Wait, hang on. Sonny Jim, where did you come from? You were down here for a second ago. Now you're up into P4. I completely missed that. Mads, you've done bits there, mate. Okay. And Hamilton, where is he? He's nowhere. Where is Hamilton? Is he even lower than before? Where is he? Am I just being blind? That's Auer. Where is the other turquoise car? Is this, where is he? Is he had a mistake? Where? I don't even know where he is now. I don't know where Hamilton is. I think he's dropped off the face of the earth, but it doesn't matter. We're P3 and P4. How's the reliability looking on all our parts? It's looking pretty okay. Rear front wing there is a little bit low than you'd want it to on both counts, but should be okay. Now, Wehrlein makes a mistake. We're going to let them race, of course. Verstappen doesn't even listen to me, and Wehrlein, I'm going to let him race. So right now they are P3 and 4, and we're chasing down Degan, the Audi car, down the inside. There we go. Both cars maybe slipping by into P2, P3, just about. Yeah, lovely stuff. Nice. Right, going very well. Now we try and chase after the Ferrari. Da Costa, maybe he can do something. A surprising Ferrari. He's going conserve, which I don't know. Maybe he's not going to make a pit stop for tyres later on this race. That's interesting. We're going to go neutral to that effect, and I'm going to go high and high because we've got 15 laps of fuel left, so we've got enough fuel to last us that stint, really. Hamilton's crashed. Hamilton is crashed. Our championship rival from last season's gone straight on at turn 1. He's crashed. The safety car's out. Let's go low fuel. Low fuel. Oh, you know what? This might be a chance to do something a little bit clever here. If we pit now and fill up on another 20 laps, we could try and basically... Well, we'll just get a free pit stop, basically. So if we pit now onto another set of super soft tyres, that gets us to lap 20... Let's say 22, 6, 28 laps, and then to the end. Is that enough laps there? 49 minus 20, 40, I can't type on my calculator, minus 28. 21 laps, yeah, that's fine. If we pit now, we'll get a free pit stop. Fuel options, let's refuel and add up everything. Oh, we can only add 5 laps of fuel. Ah, oh, can I click fill up? Yes, I can. Okay, I can click fill up. Okay, yeah, just fill it up. So there'll be 43 laps after the pit stop. We'll have 20 laps to go. Another pit stop. Boom. Bob's your uncle. We should be fine. Okay, recharge battery. Pit strategy fast. Let's come in. Use all the ARS, even though it won't matter, but use all of it. And may as well double stack them, to be honest. So let's go. Fuel options. Fill up. Park ignition. Actually, you know what? I probably can't afford to double stack them because Wehrlein's pit stop is going to take so long. So I'm going to have to pit Wehrlein because he's in the lead, and I'll pit Verstappen the next lap. I'm going to fill up Verstappen a little bit less, actually. I'm going to go to... We're on 14 laps. We're lap 7. We need to go to lap 28, so 21 laps of fuel. Oh, do we need to fill up completely? Oh, we need to fill up completely. I thought I could do something clever, maybe. But no. Fast pit stop. Yeah, park ignition is fine. Let's go. Right, so Verstappen will come in later. Wehrlein's made his pit stop for fuel, and he's down in P5, so that's pretty damn good. You know what? I'm going to try something different. DeCosta's not pit. I'm going to try something different. I'm going to go longer with Verstappen. I'm going to try and convert to a 2-stop with Verstappen and try and save fuel and see if that's the best strategy. Because it's the first race. I kind of want to do some testing to see what works and what doesn't. So I'm going to try and convert this to a 2-stop with Verstappen and really save fuel and sip the fuel and try and do one less stop here. Verline's already made the 3 pit stop, so he's got the advantage there, of course. But if I pit Verstappen now, he would have gone way down the order because everyone's bunched up now already. Right, safety car's heading to the garage. Going to go full-out attack and high. Verstappen go overtake mode and attack for Verline because he can probably afford to do that on the fuel he's got. We only got 10 laps of fuel, though, with Verstappen. So I'm going to stay high for 1 lap and then go down to low, maybe. But here we go. Then heading to the garage. Here we go. ERS boost. Is that going to be good enough for us to maybe make a move? Oh, very close, but no cigar there to make the move on DaCosta. Meanwhile, Verline is trying to make a move, and now Verstappen goes down the inside there, side by side, and there's a little bit of rubbing there. DaCosta, though, keeps it clean. He defends quite well, though, to be fair to him, to the inside. Let's go now medium for Verstappen. Keep on overtake mode for Verline. He's still P5, though. Rossi and Auer have managed to defend from him very well, but now he comes back on. Let's go through. There we go. Overtaking Rossi, overtaking Auer, up into P3 now. Verstappen, though, still in P2. Verline probably inevitably will overtake Verstappen because he's pushing so much harder on the fuel. But that's fine. They're on different strategies. Driving mistake, though, by Verline. So Auer might come back at him a little bit. Let's see about this. We go through. Doesn't look like it. No, he'll stay pretty stable there. Now we'll catch up to Verstappen. I'm going to go low fuel now with Verstappen. We'll need to try and eke this fuel out now. Meanwhile, Verline is closing up. But obviously, I can't tell Verstappen to let him through. So Verline's going to have to make this overtake on his own accord and just go for it and send it. So come on, mate. Show us what you're made of. You've got 4 and a bit stars. You're technically better on paper right now than Verstappen. Do you have the form and the confidence to overtake him? Doesn't look like at the moment he is getting stuck behind him. But I literally can't do anything. I can't tell Verstappen to let him through. He's got to make the overtake on his own accord. And he's just not doing it at the moment. Lando Norris got a drive-through for some reason. And so we're still being stuck here in P3 of Verline. And Verstappen's doing his own thing on saving fuel. There we go. Finally, Verline has an opening to the inside. Verstappen on the outside. No, it's done. Finally, after 2-3 laps there, Verline gets the job done. Up into P2. Good stuff there, mate. All right, Verstappen's been overtaken by Auer. That's fine. That's fine. Verstappen, remember, we're eking this out a lot longer. So let's just calm things down and just stretch this and play it cool. Right, that's Auer, that's pit. DaCosta's not pit yet, so Verline's still P2. He will be P1 eventually when DaCosta pits. With Verstappen, he's P3 now, because other people... Oh, and Ericsson's crashed. Yellow flags. He's out of the Grand Prix. No safety car, though. Verstappen's now pushing, because we're going to pit in this lap now. Go on to soft tyres. That will see us to the end of the Grand Prix. Fuel-wise, though, if I fill up 20 laps of fuel, won't get us to the end, but I won't need to make a pit stop. I won't need to make a pit stop for tyres. So far set. We're going to come in with Verstappen now. He's on low fuel. He's going to come in really worn out super soft tyres. But he gained 1.3 seconds there on that in-lap, actually. Very good in-lap. Refueling done. No mistake there. Recharge battery up into P7. So now he's got durable tyres. He's got fuel. But we're going to stay in low mode for a lot of this. And try. I want to see how far we could stretch this fuel. I just want to see as a bit of a tester. Verline, we're just staying to this aggressive strategy. And we need to go medium now because we burned a lot of fuel there. And we'll see how long we can go now on this. Right, Verline's on low fuel. I think we have to, yeah, we have to pit this lap. We cannot go any longer. Right, 23 laps. So this really is going to be a 2-stop even with the safety car in here. So we go super soft tyres again. That should maybe just take us in the Grand Prix, but I don't have enough fuel to get to the Grand Prix, do I? Maybe just about. Park condition, recharge battery, 100%, pit strategy far. Oh, I click cancel. That's not good. Fill up, park condition's fine. That again, don't click cancel this time, Arav. Use all the RS as we come in. That's going to be all of it deployed and okay in-lap there, I think. He gained half a second on that in-lap. That's pretty decent. Right, comes in, fills up, and recharge battery. Still out in first place. Just by 1.5 seconds, though. So close, but good work there. Good work. Right, so we're lap 26 then. Verline's P1. 5 second the gap is to DaCosta, who I suspect now is backing up a little bit. Or he's not backing up now, but he was backing up because he gained quite a lot of time on that next lap. So we've got 23 laps to go. The tyres could go all the way to the end for Verline. Fuel-wise, though, we've only got 17 laps of fuel. So we'll have to make another pit stop for maybe just fuel. Maybe not tyres, but at the same time, when you fuel up, you may as well change tyres, I think. I need to pay attention next time we make a pit stop because I think the sequence is a little bit different. I think the tyre change and the fuel's at the same time, then the batteries last. Unlike previously where the battery used to be at the same time as the tyres. So actually, now the new meta might not be doing 100% charge, because it looks like the charge does add on to the pit stop time even more than it did last season. And Emily Dugan has now crashed in the Audi car, so she's out. 15th. So at the moment, DaCosta P2, Hamilton's out of the race. Obviously, Rossi's there. So surprisingly, the Ferraris are looking a lot more competitive than I thought they would be, really, honestly. After the drop-off and losing their 2-star drivers. For us, though, I think we've got this under control somewhat with Verline. I'm just worried a little bit we're going to get caught out somehow with this whole fuel thing. With both drivers. The experiment of trying to save fuel with Verstappen is not going amazingly. I think it's impossible to save that much fuel. But we're doing a good job to keep fuel in the tank to have a faster pit stop, if you know what I mean, I think. I think that might be the key to it. I think it might be basically you want to try and have your strategy work out so you're spending least time in the pit lane with the fuel. So it's kind of useful to keep on saving fuel so you just have a lot in the tank left over so you don't have to fill up as much. Right, Verstappen's up into P3 now because Auer and Rossi have pits. So we're now going high fuel. I'll start pushing, basically, this phase of pushing with Verstappen, and we'll come in for a refuel. He's got a problem with his brakes as well, so reliability, obviously, start of the season is going to be one of the most difficult things to do, really, against the AI, so reliability is also an issue, maybe. Tyre-wise, I don't know what we're looking at. We just overtook DaCosta because he's also pit as well. We're getting through traffic right now. Tyre-wise, I think Verstappen doesn't need to make a tyre change. I think he should be fine. We go conserve. Just need to fill up on fuel, basically. Right, going to push the fuel now and come in at the end of this lap. He should be good for it. He's on low fuel mode there. Pushing in on overtake mode. 0.77, 0.66. It's going to be quite fine there. We're halfway through the lap. Right, go medium. Going to pit in. Right, no tyre change. Fuel. I need 10 laps of fuel. So 10.22. Let's add in a little bit more. Let's add in 12 laps of fuel. Just so we can push a little bit. So that's how... Okay, so second place. If I add a new set of tyres, that doesn't change anything. Okay, so you fill up at the same time as tyres. But if I add battery, does it add that to our time? Because look, it changes the... Yeah, it adds time to that. 1.2. And then tyres is 1.8. Fuel's 4. Yeah, so battery charge now that we're doing a fuel refill, battery charge actually does add onto the time at the very end. Brakes... 27%. I'm not going to change them, but that's probably going to give way, you would say. Pit strategy fast. Fuel. Okay, yeah. So we may as well change tyres then. And we may as well go on to super softs in that case. So, okay, that's a little bit annoying, actually, in a way. Now that refueling's come in, it makes sense almost like it used to be in F1. The tyres don't matter as much in terms of because you're fueling up. You just change the tyres at the same time as you refuel. So the pit stop time's negated there. So the only thing that's changed is now ERS charge definitely makes a difference because it adds on there. But it doesn't change anything to the pit stops because if I don't do a change, it's still 4 seconds. It's still 4 seconds. So that's the kind of new meta we're going for in the pit stops then. So yeah, we're just saving ERS and we're not going to use any of it on the in-lap then. Verstappen's in. Yeah, changes tyres as he refuels, and then he comes out, and we've got new tyres, worn tyres for Pascal Wehrlein. Let's go attacking now, mate, and let's go overtake mode and really start pushing that in-lap. Going to go for pushing and high. We've got excess fuel. That's good to see. So I'll just go high until we run out of excess fuel. So Verstappen's out in P3. So the 1-2 might be on still, you know. There's 5 seconds to DaCosta. We could catch him. Let's see. Meanwhile, Wehrlein's pushing like a stabbed rat. And we're going to come in on this lap, I'd say, I think. Yeah. Got 9 laps left. So let's go with 10 laps of fuel. Recharge. I'll add one little tiny bit of recharge there. We've got 1 second to spare. Use a bit of boost here as we come through. And then save it again. Auto. Right, it comes in. Change tyres, refuel, little bit of charge. Oh, there's a mistake on the recharge, but he's out in first place still. We broke our ERS. Aha, we spiked it. We like overcharged it or something, and now we broke it. Damn. Oh, okay. That's interesting. That's very interesting now. Okay, 13.9 seconds. Let's hope the ERS doesn't play too much of a part for DaCosta then to catch us. Oh, safety car's come out. It's a late safety car for Dan Ricciardo, who's crashed in the, what was he, in the Porsche Works team. So he's crashed. P12 safety car's out. So that kind of neutralizes the race pretty much, because now we just go low, and we have to trundle around now. So it's going to be a sprint race to the end, and all 2 of our cars have excess fuel. So we can really push right to the end then. And hopefully, Verstappen could overtake Da Costa on the last lap. We could even have Verstappen v Wehrlein on the last lap if they get close enough. Although, front wing condition and brakes now are iffy for Verstappen there. So his car now is very fragile. That's going to be a bit of a nursing effort to the end of the Grand Prix now. Come on. We've got a safety car. Goes one more lap. Then there's 3 laps to go, Verstappen. You can make it to the end of the Grand Prix. Just a little bit longer, mate. Just a little bit longer. Right, we've got some smoking Toro Rosso there. Or yeah, it looks like one Toro Rosso is going to soon leave the Grand Prix. We're getting to the end of the safety car lap. So now I'm going to go to overtake mode and overtake mode. Attack and overtake mode. ERS on auto. Oh, my God. Wehrlein here actually might be in trouble with Rossi. If Rossi has enough ERS on the exit here, Wehrlein could be a sitting duck for all these guys with ERS here, because you can see there Verstappen uses his ERS. We'll actually keep that on charge and blast past people. There is Rossi there, uses ERS. Come on, Wehrlein, defend. We've got no ERS to use, and Rossi's down the inside. He's got it. We've lost P1. The Ferrari's in P1 with no ERS to use there for Pascal Wehrlein there. Disaster has struck, and now Wehrlein's all the back of him as well with a broken car. That is interesting. That is a dynamic I didn't think was going to happen, but here we go. We're coming back now with Wehrlein. 3 laps left. Remember, fast lap of the Grand Prix also gets 2 bonus points. So Verstappen right now has those extra 2 points. But let's see, Wehrlein coming back at Rossi, Da Costa. He's got an issue with his car. He's not using ERS though right now to defend. So if we could try and catch him up with Wehrlein on pure pace with no ERS, that could be ideal to maybe get back into first place. Verstappen's lost out to Auer. So our car now is maybe not going as fast as we want it to, with a bit of a broken issue here. So Auer's got us there. Can we come back at him though as we go through the next lap? Let's use ERS here, please. Try and get back past him if we can. On the exit of the last corner into turn 1. Come on, Verstappen down the inside, up into P3. There we go, just about. Let's go auto. Use it. And then where is Wehrlein? Wehrlein's still P2. Da Costa's got it. I think Da Costa's looking pretty damn good here. We're pushing. Verstappen used the last bit of ERS. Oh, no, we're low fuel. Oh, Wehrlein spun! Oh, he spun him! Oh, there's a T-bone collision. What on earth is... Oh, Verstappen spun! What on earth's going on here? He's on low fuel, but he's spun twice there. What on earth has happened there? I don't know. But Da Costa, quite amazing. The Ferrari cars come through to win the Australian Grand Prix. Wehrlein comes home in P2. Verstappen spun and now is out of fuel. Oh, we've made an absolute mare of that at the end there. I didn't see that Verstappen was so iffy on fuel. He chugged that fuel. Wehrlein had so much more fuel left, even with overtake mode. But what was that? 2-3 spins there for our car on the line there with the tyre. The tyre wear wasn't even that bad. But we had a T-bone spin there. That was insane. But Da Costa then, the Portuguese man in Ferrari, wins that. Ferrari are back. Ferrari are back. Arriva Bene is going to be, not even Arriva Bene, Bonotto is going to be screaming, Ferrari are back. Ragazzi, they haven't won a Grand Prix. They didn't win a single Grand Prix last season. They rock up to race 1 and they've won the first race. Wow, did not expect that. Crazy race, crazy. So Da Costa also gets the fast lap of the Grand Prix. So Ferrari get 27 points there from Da Costa. Fair play. Wehrlein does a great job in second place, though. You know, what could have been, though, with the ERS braking, but that's racing sometimes, you know? That's really cool. I don't remember the last time I've had my ERS disabled like that with the recharging there, so that was really quite exciting, and that end of the race was berserk with the spinning as well, so... Wehrlein second. Verstappen still gets 9th place there in the end, despite running out of fuel on the line. So that's pretty good, actually. Constructors then were in 2nd place. Ferrari lead with 39 points. Merca 3rd place there. So I did not think I'd be seeing the red car up there in P1, but fair play, fair play. What an exciting first race then for this season. That's if the entire season's gonna be as berserk as that, you know, all race long with the strategies playing out with the fuel, the tyres, the ERS. This could be a very, very tasty and long season for us in terms of fighting for the championship this time round. And Wehrlein has really turned up. Obviously, I know I experimented a little bit with Verstappen. Didn't really pay off, to be honest. But at the same time, Wehrlein did look very comfortable out there. We get 1.7, so that's all good. Still a good amount of money. Obviously, I put pressure on myself because I've said we're going to get first place this season. So the way the game works is my chairman's going to put a lot of pressure on me when I'm not in first place, which is right now. So at the moment, it's below target. It's very secure right now. But if I keep, you can see there, -11 at Sydney. because we didn't win the Grand Prix. So I need to watch out for it. I need to make sure I'm winning Grand Prix consistently this season. Otherwise, I could be under fire from Helmut Marko and Dietrich Mateschitz. So let's see how it goes. But guys, if you did enjoy this episode, be sure to smash that like button. Let me know your thought in the comments below. If you're new and subscribe for weekly full-on content, I've been aarava. How much today? I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.